all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making tomato soup. So the ingredients for my tomato soup are heirloom tomatoes. They bring complexity and balance to the sweetness and acidity of the other tomatoes. Roma tomatoes for their thickening capabilities as well as concentrated flavor. Cherry tomatoes, another concentrated flavor, sweetness. Aromatics with onion and garlic. And one red bell pepper for sweetness as well. And then we're gonna finish it off with a little chicken stock. I like the organic kind from Costco. If you wanna make this truly vegetable based soup, then you can use vegetable stock. And then I'm gonna add in some spices. So salt, pepper, parsley at the end, oregano, and Italian seasoning. First thing you need to do is wash your vegetables. So since the heirlooms are quite big, I'll start with them and the one bell pepper. I have a Eat Cleaner all natural fruit and veggie wash that I'm gonna leave on for 2 minutes. Sorry, new bottle. Before rinsing. And I'll do this with the other vegetables as well, and then we'll get started. 2 minutes later, we're rinsing off the tomatoes. Next up, time to add those to the drying rack, and then we're going to add in our other set of tomatoes, spray those, let them sit for another 2 minutes, and then rinse. So sort of like a rinse and repeat scenario, just to make sure all of our vegetables are washed and clean and ready to go. Next, I'm going to start to cut up the tomatoes, making the heirloom tomatoes into quarters or wedges rather, taking out the stem piece, adding them to my sheet tray. And I'm just going to repeat the same process through the plum tomatoes as well, making my way through them, making wedges so they all cook evenly, trying to make them like sizes. When I make my way to the cherry tomatoes, those I'm just going to have to expose the inside so that when we're seasoning them, the seasoning hits the inside as well. Perfect topping for tomato soup is a little bit of parsley and some croutons seasoned with olive oil, salt, and pepper. So I'll do that at the end and you'll see that coming up. As I'm cutting here, you can see I realized I got the wrong size tray, so your homegirl had to make a quick swap for the larger sheet tray because I had way more tomatoes than I accounted for with the first sheet tray that I grabbed. So continuing here to cut through the tomatoes so that we can get them into the oven. So with it being October, as you all already know, it's starting to cool down in my area while still being hot at the same time, but I'm fully embracing soup season. So I really wanted to kick off things with a tomato soup first. It's just warm, hearty, and comforting, and something I really enjoy this time of year. And tomatoes are really in season, so it's going to make your soup flavorful and delicious. Coming up on the last little bit of tomatoes here, I really love all the colors that you can see that are provided by the heirloom tomatoes. It just really looks pretty on the sheet tray. Now it's time to start with our onion and garlic. I'm going to do the same thing, cutting off each end, cutting them into wedges, adding them scattered throughout the tomatoes on the tray. I have also set in the background my oven to 400 degrees. Now we've moved on to the garlic. I'm just going to peel and smash, toss those in between, scattered throughout the tomatoes as well. I don't know about you all, but once this pan hits the oven, the smell that fills the house, it just feels like love. It's roasted garlic, roasted onions, roasted peppers. I mean, it's hard to describe. I definitely recommend if you're going to kick off soup season, starting with this soup, because it'll just set the tone for the rest of your soups that you're going to make. The aroma wafting through the house, I think you're all really going to enjoy it as much as I do. Let me know in the comments if you love the smell of roasting vegetables. Time to season our tomatoes. I'm going to start with the Italian seasoning. Then I'm going to go in with a liberal, generous sprinkle of salt, followed by freshly cracked pepper, pardon me. Now, after they roasted for 45 minutes, I let them cool a bit. I peeled the skins off of the heirloom tomatoes that I could get my hands on. Then I'm dumping everything, juices included, into a heavy Dutch oven pot, followed by 2.5 cups of chicken stock. Now I'm going to let that simmer on the stove for 30 minutes. "30 minutes later, everything was simmering nicely, getting to know each other in the pot. Give it a little stir just to meld all the flavors together finally for sure before making my way over to the blender. So I happen to have a Vitamix. I'm going to add a few ladles of the mixture into my Vitamix, making sure not to pass my max capacity line. And then I'm going to blitz it. I let the blending go for about a minute or two, and I want to see what my consistency looks like. So I take a sieve, pour in a little at a time, and then I use my spoon to move it around. I notice that it's still quite thick at this point, thicker than I'd like. I can still see some of the skin from the tomato. So it's time for me to make some adjustments. So I cheated in the background, figured you guys didn't need to see that again. I added it back onto the base of the blender, blended it at a higher speed and for a longer amount of time. I like the way that turned out. I added the remnants from the first blend back into the blender, added it to the blender a second time. I was stirring around there to make sure that I didn't have any skin, because goodness me, I can't stand that. Now I'm adding it back to the sieve to check and make sure that after blending it for about 5 minutes at a speed of 10, that I'm not going to have any tomato skins or pepper skins in the soup. I'm happy with the consistency, as you can see, so I go ahead and pour the remaining blended amount straight into the bowl, I should say, rather. I went ahead and added what was remaining from the pot, the last little bit of soup mixture there, added it into the blender. I was just stirring to make sure I liked the viscosity of the soup, the thickness. Was good with it. I added the remaining amount from the pot that was blended up into the rest of the blended tomato soup. I'm liking the way things are looking. So I take my larger spoon. I just want to incorporate everything, because if you've blended things, you'll note that sometimes there's a bit of froth on top, but that'll just incorporate itself into the soup. So I'm good with everything here. Now it's time to plate it up. So I'm going to give myself 2 ladlefuls of soup. That's the amount that I usually enjoy. Freshly chopped parsley. I'm going to add in my croutons that I roasted at 400 degrees for about 8 minutes to give myself that crunch. As soup season continues, I'll make a few more, but let me know in the comments if there are some other soups that you'd like to see. Also, if you make this one, let me know if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.